Hello, my name is Thea Cannon. I'm going to start with a prayer. Please, Elohim of Yahweh, please let me be your vessel. Say what you need to say in the mighty Kodesh name of your Yaki, Jobain, Yeshua, Emmanuel, by the mighty Ruach HaKodesh, and by you, Yahweh, our Abba, our Father Almighty, Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh Ehad. Quite confusing again. It's not confusing. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this, but they've asked me to speak for them, so I will let the Elohim, Yeshua, speak through me. Yahweh, Elohim, where would you like me to go with this? See, Hashatan is whispering in my left ear things that he'd like me to go and say, but I don't wish to speak for him. I only wish to speak for the Elohim, for Yeshua, for Yahweh, Father, Abba. So now they're telling me to go back over everything that I've learned. Oh, sorry. My internet's decided to work. I will say that when they wish for me to say something and I hesitate, it seems my internet plays up. And as soon as I say one of these or do one of these messages for them, I get really good internet again. Funny that, eh? They've got a habit of doing it. I suppose I'm going to go on about, I'm trying to think of the right word. Hashtan's giving me the wrong word. A naturalist, herbalist, someone that does research and so forth into natural alternatives to medicine. Because when I was learning about what to put into your body, foods and so forth, and what we shouldn't put into our body, and really what our supermarkets and that hold in their aisles, a lot of the ingredients are cancer-causing ingredients and so forth, and not good for our human bodies. So when I was doing my research at the time, this is going back over 10 years ago, a lot of the people that were doing this research and had dedicated their whole lives to researching natural alternatives were being killed. It's as easy as that, really. It seems that everyone that had a bit of a name for themselves and people were listening to, and they were coming out with alternatives to pharmaceuticals. I did hear that they were taken out by the Clinton Foundation and so forth, by the Clintons and their associates. Yeah, it was very sad because I've seen a lot of these people and their families being murdered, killed off, because of the research and the information that they were coming out with in regards to how we should be looking after ourselves and what we put into our bodies. And they were coming out with alternatives to the mainstream media and what they're saying. I'm very thankful for these people in the research that they did. I wish, as a human, and I think the Elohim wished that they had not been taken out. It comes down to choices and the choices we make in life, and the people that acted on behalf of these 1%ers. And they did it for money, for power. Little did they know that they were taking out their own way of healing, so to speak. For some reason, I've had a slow journey when it comes to healing myself. I've had miracles happen in my life consistently, and I'm thinking of after I was baptized a year or two in, I was still living in Queensland, and little did I know that I'd made my own sukut. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. I didn't even realise at the time what I was doing. I just made this outside room on my deck purely for my cat at the time, because I wanted him to have an outside area that was enclosed and he couldn't escape from and couldn't get hurt. Then I realised after I'd done it that it was that time of year that people were building their sukuts. So just matched up, magically matched up. So one of these nights, it was raining like you wouldn't believe, and I noticed that the roof was starting to cave in on places where the water was. And I just learned at the time about how the Jewish people used to clean themselves with Kodesh cleaning, and also they would go through the water as a washing off before they entered the temple. And I found myself trying to get the water off this roof and being covered in it. They had a good laugh. I had a good laugh. It was a bit of fun. So I'm out in a major thunderstorm, lightning. And then the Elohim said to me, asked me in my mind, do you trust me, Thea? Because they wanted me to go and play in the lightning. Now, mind you, I had going through my head, this is really silly. Who plays in lightning? But then they said to me again in my head, do you trust me? Well, I said, yes, I do trust you. So I found myself out in my yard. In the rain, it wasn't pouring, but then the lightning strikes started all around me. They were striking the ground. And at first it was like, what am I doing? This is a bit silly. I'm wet. I had no shoes on. And I'm playing in the rain and the thunder and the lightning. And they kept saying to me, do you trust me? And I was like, yes, I do. So I lost all fear. I found myself playing in the lightning, in the rain, with my dog, running around, being like a little child and loving it, laughing my head off. And I could hear and feel the lightning strikes striking all around the property. Never me. They went on for about 5 or 10 minutes of just playing in the lightning. It was a magical experience, really, feeling it and hearing it. There was so many strikes. It was unbelievable. They were just constant, consistent for 5 to 10 minutes, striking all around me. And it was a case of, yes, I did trust them, and I knew that lightning came from them. So in my head, if they were going to take me out, they could take me out, but I knew they wouldn't. I had to trust them, that the lightning strikes would not come near me, would not hit me, and they didn't. I had a lot of fun. Also taught me to really trust the Elohim of Yahweh, Yeshua, the Ruach HaKodesh, Abba Father. I'm not quite sure why I came out with that. Yeah. Talking about trust and so forth. And one of the things that the Elohim of Yahweh taught me was to research everything. To not take one person's word for it. To test, as they say, discern the truth and test. So I started finding out that our shampoos and conditioners, our soaps, I have very sensitive skin, so I react to most soaps and shampoos and But I would use these anyway, and I'd end up with rashes, or not rashes, but splotches and red marks all over my body from using these shampoos and conditioners and body washes. So then I was prompted to go for natural alternatives, which I've been doing for over 5 or 10 years. So I suppose when it comes down to it, look, they want me to tell you about my homemade toothpaste. See, at the time I found out that fluoride that we have in our water and in our toothpaste was actually something that Adolf Hitler used to put into the water of the Jews to make them more compliant. So I went away from, your toothpastes that you buy in the supermarket. I started making my own. Through using my own toothpaste, which was just bicarb soda, raw organic coconut oil, and a bit of peppermint essence. Peppermint essence is really, really good for clearing up your lungs. So if you have a bit of congestion on the lungs, monitoring my own body and so forth, I realised that putting a couple of drops of peppermint essence into a cup of, I used to do hot drinks of lemon juice, honey, and peppermint essence. And I'd even put a bit of milk in there. And I'd make these hot drinks, and I found that it was really clearing out my lungs and cleared out a lot of problems, a lot of health problems. Well, not health. Well, I'd been a smoker for most of my life, so shivers. Realistically, I started smoking around the age of 10. A babysitter came to look after us one night, gave me a packet of cigarettes to go away and leave her alone. So I thought back then when I was 10 that I was older or more mature because I smoked cigarettes. How crazy in the thoughts was I, hey? In actual fact, I was damaging my young body that was trying to grow. And here I was killing it with chemicals. So I've done more than half my life smoking. And, I tried giving up over and over and over again. And every time I had a stressful situation, I'd go back to them. I realised that this was a vicious circle. Because every time I'd be right again, I'd want to give up the cigarettes, and found it a lot harder to give them up than it was to take them up. So I used to have Satan, hashatan, and his demons bashing me up in my head, telling me how disgusted I was in myself, that I'd done it, that I'd started smoking again, and how I should feel terrible for it. And it wasn't until, fast forward 20 years later or more, I'm in counselling, and a counsellor said to me that the worst thing you can do when someone's trying to give up smoking is to constantly harass them about it. That was a turning point for me, because I learnt to be kinder to myself in my head. So instead of bashing myself up if I would have that cigarette, I would turn around and be nice to myself and say, hey, look, it was one. It's okay. Look how well you have done. Look, it's one. How many did you used to have? So it was almost like I was patting myself on the back, that not allowing myself to do it, but almost telling myself it's okay. You can keep going. You don't just have to give up, because half the time I'd get used to hearing this hashatan and his demons telling me how bad I was for what I'd done, that I'd just go bugger it and start smoking again, because I was sick of hearing it. Where when I was being gentle with myself, It allowed me to go, okay, it's just one. I can keep going with my giving up. I only have one today, and that was the first time in a week. So it's okay. I'm doing really well. Compared to what I used to be, I'm doing really well. And that helped me like you wouldn't believe. And I even had to explain to my children, to my daughter, not to be so hard on me when I did start smoking again, but to actually turn around and tell me how proud she was that I'd only had the one and that it's okay. Just keep at it. Because I was already bashing myself up in my head. I didn't need others doing it because that would make me feel even worse. I suppose, what am I trying to say? That we need to be gentle with each other? You know, pat someone on the back that's doing a good job, even if they've had a little setback. It's okay because they've been doing so well other than that. It's quite a bizarre thing. I didn't even know what I was going to say when I put this on. And it appears that they wish for me to let you know to be more gentle with people. I suppose that when it comes back, that comes back to judging others for what they have done. See, I'm noticing a pattern that people that judge others quite harshly are hiding something themselves. They're saying yes. They feel bad about something they've done, or they don't want people to look at them. So they will try and make others look at the other people and not them. I'm getting a big confirmation from the Elohim of Yahweh that that's correct. They don't look at themselves. They're too busy looking at others because they're hiding something, trying to deny it. It's easier to look at others, isn't it, than to look at yourself. So it's been a big thing in my life. I always go back to the scripture where, Yeshua said, Jesus said, why do you look to remove the speck from your brother's eye and you don't see the plank in your own eye? So therefore, I don't judge others for what they do because they are their own judge. They have their own judgments going on in their head. And I don't need to add to that and make them feel bad. If anything, I want to pick out the good that they're doing. It's like when I was raising my children. And when you're, working with animals, if you're constantly picking, like with my children, the only time that I spoke to them was when they were reacting badly. I was tending to teach them that if you want your mother's attention, then you need to react badly. So the Elohim of Yahweh through Yeshua taught me, and through the Ruach HaKodesh, taught me that don't do that. Pull them up, say no, but then they told me compliment them for all the good that they do. So I would, make a game of playing and, instead of just telling them to pick up their toys and do it now, because I knew that wasn't working. I would make a game of it and be like, okay, who can put the most toys away in the quickest time? So then it became like a fun thing and we'd run around and I would do it too, run around and, pick up all their toys and put them away. Who could be the quickest? Who could do the most? Made it fun. And then they started doing good things because they knew that they were going to get my reactions. they veered away from doing the bad. I've just realised it's like a metaphor for us adults, isn't it? Funny that. So instead of picking the flaws in people, we need to pick them back up. Tell them what we're proud of and tell them how they can inspire us to make changes in our lives by seeing them make changes in their own lives. Bit of a not bizarre, but I suppose the Elohim have a way of showing us through everything we do, even the little things, how these things can help us to grow, to become better people. It's quite bizarre because I watch other people and they're talking and that about Elohim Yahweh, Yeshua, the Ruach HaKodesh, and things that they say can help me to see things that I was missing. You see, it's a hard one. Most of my family and that don't understand why I have chosen to go down the path I've chosen to go down. Because realistically, I'm living for the Elohim. I'm not interested in material assets. Because I realise too that the only thing we take with us is our memories. So it doesn't matter how much money you have and how many assets you have. At the end of the day, you don't take them with you. You take your memories. And in the kingdom of the Elohim, people don't get up there and say, hey, look how much I earned and look how many assets I got. They wouldn't even make it in. It's more about, look at the joyful moments that I shared with my family. And sometimes we don't even realise the things that we do when we do it for good, how that it can affect others. I've had a lot of moments in life like that where I've helped others and didn't think it was much, didn't think much of it, let it go, to then have them come back years later and tell me how much of a difference that made to them just by a little compliment, by raising them up. They would love to see people raising each other up, not bringing each other down. There is something I've noticed lately, that when I watch people and who are caught up with the devil, with hashatan, a new name that I just learned for him. Oh, I meant to say this. They call him Azrael, which was the name of the fallen angel. Now, isn't that bizarre how you can change a few words? It's like your intellectual elite, how they use these big words to confuse us, and when you find out what they really mean by these big words, it's something so simple. And then you suddenly find understanding instead of using the big intellectual word. Now, they got a habit of using these words to confuse us. Hence the reason why the Jews didn't really look at Jesus, Yeshua, because we kept using the name Jesus. They didn't understand that we were worshipping a Jew because they were seeing him as a Catholic image, which was the Mother Mary, which made no sense. Okay, so that brings me back to I've realised and been shown by the Elohim Yahweh, by Yeshua, by the Ruach HaKodesh, that people that listen to hashatan, Azrael, which is really bizarre because, forgive me for this, Elohim Yahweh, I used to do angel healing cards. One of the names I used to come across all the time was Azrael. Turns out that's the name of Satan, hashatan. So be careful. You are being deceived with your angel healing cards and all the rest of it, because these names that you call upon when you do these cards is actually hashatan, Satan, Azrael, Ariziel. Can't really say that well. I don't really want to practice. But isn't it bizarre how a few little words changed can confuse us all, so that you don't realise you're following demons and fallen angels and the devil. Threw them all in the bin. Where Satan belongs. You see, that's another thing. Why is it that I can call out Satan, hashatan, Azrael, Ariziel, yet he does not hurt me? I would never dare to say that. Anything horrible to the Elohim of Yahweh or Yeshua or the Ruach HaKodesh. No way, because I know they would strike me down. But as for hashatan, Satan, Azrael, or Aziel, he is hopeless. He's shit. Do you hear me? I am putting your fake God down, you hashatan worshippers. He is the lowest of the low. He's disgusting. His thought patterns. I'm tempting you. You see, the only way he can hurt me is by getting humans to act for him. It's the only power he has in this world. The Elohim doesn't need us. They could do it by themselves. They're choosing to use us as their vessels for good. But hashatan, I'm allowed to. You are a liar. You are a deceiver. You are full of shit. You're crap. If you are so powerful, come after me, not your little human minions. You just have been coming after me in my head, you and your demons. But I'm here to say, I do not fear you, hashatan, and your demons and your minions, Azrael, Satan, devil. I do not fear you at all. And I do not even fear your minions, your human minions. Because at the end of the day, I know the Elohim of Yahweh can take you out, strike you all out. I'm taunting you right now because I know how powerless you are. Yes, you have to use buttons to make things happen, don't you? Would you play in the thunder and the lightning? Do you trust hashatan? Because he's not in control of the lightning and the thunder. So go out there and play in the thunder. No, sorry, don't do that. Sorry about that. The lane will take you out. And I don't want anyone playing in the thunder if you're calling out to the wrong name. So I don't fear you, hashatan, and your minions and your demons. I pity you. Ooh. I pity you, and I pity your followers. Because you're all going to end up in the pit. I Pity you, hashatan, devil, Satan, and all your followers. And you can see them quite clearly because they look to their left constantly when they talk about evolution and everything. They are just looking to their left the whole time. They mention God. Oh, we look to our right for God. Rest of the time, it's to the left. They are in deep. Now you got to wonder, will their ego allow them to admit that they are wrong? Or will their pride get in the way? Because I've had to admit in my life when I'm wrong. And I've had to humble myself and apologise to others. And apologise to the Elohim of Yahweh, to Yeshua, to the Ruach HaKodesh when I get something wrong. But there's a lot of people out there that won't admit it. Even when they know it, they will continue to see because they don't want you to look at them like that. They don't want to live in the shame or be ashamed. But then they bring it on themselves. If they humbled themselves and admitted that they've been listening to the wrong voice, the Elohim Yahweh could use you to help others. So you need to get off your high horse and admit when you've done wrong and admit when you've been deceived so that others don't follow you. And maybe you might save yourself. It's not up to me, it's up to them. To Abba Father, Yahweh, not hashatan, Satan, who has no power. He's powerless. I do enjoy having a go at hashatan, Satan. I know he has no power. Would you like me to say that, would you, Elohim? Strike me down, hashatan, devil. Strike me down now. Where's your power? Where's your power? Never say that to the Elohim of Yahweh. Sure laugh. Hashatan's fuck. Okay, I've had a bit of fun. Have I? So I will leave you with that. Do not fear him or his minions at all, because they know where they're going. I know where they're going, to the pit. So I love you all. Ooh. I'm being told to let you know that pedophiles, you're going to the pit. Big time. How dare you groom and think it's okay to hurt children? I've met the groomed children. They never wanted it. The people they trusted the most in this world, their parents, broke their trust. A lot of trauma going on in their heads. A lot of hurt. How dare you? Wouldn't want to be you. If you are actually feeling guilty and ashamed for what you've done, you better go and make things right with your family, eh? Nothing's hidden. Nothing remains hidden. Everything comes out. What you've done is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You got a lot of turning around to do, apparently, they're telling me. If you want to get yourself out of the pit. Aren't you lucky it's the Elohim of Yahweh? Because me, the Canon, the human, I would wish to take you down into that pit and never see you come up again. Aren't you lucky that humans don't judge you? The Elohim of Yahweh does. And you will go down into that pit if you think you can keep hurting children. They will not tolerate you. They will not tolerate your excuses. Aren't we lucky that we have the Elohim of Yahweh to judge us? We have Yeshua. Because we humans, well, if it was me, I would take you out. You must understand, when I used to sit around when I was younger, and I thought if I didn't have children, I would have become a secret spy, and I would have went round and cut your fucking dick and balls off and shoved them down your throat. Yeah, I did used to think about hurting you. So aren't you lucky that I became a mother? Because my thought pattern used to be that I know I wasn't allowed to do that. I realised that later on. But yes, I did have some evil thoughts about how I would take you all out. Ooh, I don't have those evil thoughts anymore. I will leave it up to the Elohim of Yahweh. Because what they've got planned is far better than what I could ever hope to achieve. So, I love you all and hope that you come back to the Elohim of Yahweh through Yeshua, the only way. I love you all and thank you.